Hey guys, and welcome to my review today of Bluehost. So Bluehost is known for being one of the more popular web hosting companies because of its affordability, excellent value, great performance, and being really newbie friendly. It's also one of the 3 hosting services that is officially recommended by WordPress, along with DreamHost and SiteGround. But it's not going to be the perfect choice for everyone. After using Bluehost myself for over 10 years now, I've learned what it's best at, as well as the things it's not so great for. So today, I'll not only explain the different features of Bluehost and how will they perform in the real world, but I'll also compare them to the competition, and ultimately help you to decide whether Bluehost would be the best hosting company for you or not. And as always, I'll include any links in the description to the best deals or promotional discounts on Bluehost that I can get for you guys. So regarding user friendliness, this is one of the features that sets Bluehost apart, as they make it really easy for anyone to manage a website, even if this is the first time you've ever had a website. Now, Bluehost uses cPanel, which is a web hosting control panel that offers a ton of options for integrations. For example, you can add email autoresponders, apps to track marketing metrics, such as the number of clicks on your website, and apps for automatic billing. You can also install content management systems other than WordPress, such as Joomla and Drupal. Basically, Bluehost makes it simple and easy to add any additional apps and plugins, which gives your site more features and can help to improve the experience of visitors to your website. In the performance page, you can change the cache settings, which basically allows you to delete the data stored on your website so that it loads faster. And then the settings page gives you an overview of any updates that have happened or are yet to happen. You can also manage content such as your blogs. For example, you can moderate comments you've received on your blog pages rather than having to log in to each of your sites individually. And then regarding performance, this is an extremely important, and for some, the most important feature of a good web hosting company. Performance is basically measured on 2 metrics. You have the loading time of your website and the uptime. So the loading time is how fast your website loads when a user opens it. A fast page loading time is ideally one that is less than 3 seconds. This ultimately means a better user experience, which means Google will give you more favor in the search results, and as a result means your website will get more visitors. So Bluehost has one of the fastest loading times compared to other hosting companies, which is 2.89 seconds on average. Then the second factor is uptime. This measures the amount of time for which your website is up and running and is generally shown as a percentage. Here again, Bluehost is one of the best as well, with an uptime of 99.98% over the course of a year. And although each hosting company experiences some downtime, Bluehost is one of the best in this regard. But in addition to performance, there are several other things Bluehost does which makes it a great value. For example, no matter which hosting plan you choose, they all include at least 1 free domain name for the first year, a free SSL certificate, and 5 free email accounts. Bluehost also has a one-click WordPress installation option, which is simple and easy to use. And in addition to this, another thing that makes Bluehost great for beginners is that it gives you a checklist of all the things that you may need to complete, like organize your site's navigation or customize your design. Also, everyone is given unmetered bandwidth, which means that you won't be charged based on the amount of bandwidth that you use. However, you will be asked to reduce your usage if you exceed the limits set in Bluehost's terms and service. This limit is 5,000 database tables and 10 gigabytes of total database usage. Fortunately, it's not likely you'll ever have to worry about this, as most websites never exceed these limits. But one of my favorite things about Bluehost is their customer support. Out of all the hosting companies I've been with, Bluehost has impressed me the most so far with how great their support is, particularly over the phone. I've had some of the most legendary support situations that literally prompted me to write letters to the upper management because of how impressed I was. Because it's particularly unique these days to find a company that not only hires great people who genuinely care about helping you, but then that company also empowers those people to do everything they can do to take care of you. And if you've ever been in a situation where you're stuck trying to figure out what's wrong with your website, you know how valuable that type of support can be. So their customer support team is available 24/7 by phone, or you can email or chat with them if you prefer. And then pricing is another area where Bluehost demonstrates its value as a hosting company. I'll highlight some of the key and most important points here in this review, but if you're interested in more details about the different plans, I'll include a link in the description to a more detailed review about the different pricing plans and options. But when it comes to choosing the right plan, it's important to understand that your pricing plan will be greatly affected by whether it's a shared hosting plan or a dedicated hosting plan. Shared hosting basically means that you share your hosting space with other websites, whereas dedicated hosting means that you get to have your own hosting space. The benefit of shared hosting is that it's cheaper than dedicated hosting. The downside is that it doesn't have as much speed, security, or performance. But keep in mind, these shared hosting plans are what 95% of people use with Bluehost, and these are the plans I've continued to use for the past 10 years for dozens and dozens of my own sites, as they still perform really well, especially for how little they cost. Now, the cheapest shared hosting plan that Bluehost offers starts at $295 per month. There's also a Plus and Choice plan, which cost $545 per month. The main difference is that the Choice Plus will give you a little more protection for your websites. But although they cost the same initially, the renewal price for Choice Plus is a few dollars more per month. So what I recommend doing is starting with Choice Plus, and then you can always downgrade to the Plus plan when your renewal happens if you don't want to pay the extra few bucks per month for additional security. Also, keep in mind that when you see anything from Bluehost that talks about their shared WordPress hosting plans, this is the exact same thing as their regular hosting plans. They just use this for marketing purposes in order to appeal to those who strictly use WordPress. But again, whichever one you sign up for, they're exactly the same. Now, Bluehost does have other more expensive plans as well, which I'll discuss in detail in a separate video. Again, you can check the description for a link to that if you like. This would include their VPS or virtual private server plans or their dedicated hosting plans. I don't recommend these plans for most people, and especially anyone just starting out, as you'll be responsible for managing everything yourself, and you won't have Bluehost to help you with any issues that might come up along the way. They certainly have their purpose though, but since it only affects about 5% of the people watching this, I'm going to save a more detailed discussion of those plans for another video. So ultimately, the plan I'd recommend most people start with is either the Basic or Choice Plus plan. If you just want hosting for one website or want to spend the least amount possible, then I'd go with the Basic plan. Otherwise, Choice Plus lets you have unlimited websites, unlimited email accounts, unlimited email storage, and unmetered website space for only $1.50 more per month. And of course, whatever plan you start with, you can very easily upgrade or downgrade whenever it might make sense for you to do so. So, as great as Bluehost is, there are some reasons you may want to choose a different hosting service. First, if you're a more advanced user, then you may find the phone support with Bluehost to, at times, not be as knowledgeable as you may like. So if you're the type of person who knows more than most when it comes to web hosting, then you may want to go with a different option like SiteGround. While SiteGround isn't as friendly and helpful to those who are less experienced, especially compared to Bluehost, they are more knowledgeable on average, which can make them better for those who know what questions to ask. Next, Bluehost isn't currently offering any free site migrations. While you can do this yourself or have someone do it for you, paying Bluehost to do this will cost you a one-time fee of $150, which will cover up to 5 different sites being migrated to Bluehost from a different web hosting company. And finally, Bluehost doesn't offer automatic site backups. The good news is that this is easy enough to get through third-party apps or services, but if it's something you want your hosting service to automatically provide, then you may want to go with a different option. But otherwise, the reason I've continued to use Bluehost myself for so many years is because of the incredible value and exceptional support they offer. When my mom wanted to start her own WordPress sites, Bluehost was the one I recommended to her, not only because of how cost-effective it was, but at the end of the day, I knew that if she ever had problems or got stuck not knowing what to do, that there would be someone friendly and helpful she could talk to, who could patiently walk her step by step through getting her site working properly again. And that's why I love recommending Bluehost. It's especially great for beginners. It has an extremely user-friendly interface, which makes it easy to manage your website. You have outstanding customer support. That's truly the best I've experienced in this industry so far. And the performance you get for even their most basic plans is truly a great value, which is ultimately the reason I've continued to use and recommend them to this day. So hopefully you found this review helpful. If so, please leave a thumbs up, as I always appreciate that. And if you do decide to get started with Bluehost, I'll leave a link in the description to help you take advantage of any of the current best deals or promotional offers that I can find. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments below, as I love getting to help answer as many questions as I can. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.